When my mom casually told me, "You're not part of Christmas this year," as if I meant nothing, I calmly replied, "Then don't expect a dime of the $8,000 I was about to send," and froze their mortgage payments without a second thought. I'm stretched out on my worn futon, the late November breeze rattling the thin windows of my small studio living space, when my phone vibrates on the messy side table. I glance at the display. Mom. My finger hovers over the reject button, but a familiar impulse takes over, and I answer. "Hello, Elliot," she says, her voice light, almost cheerful, as if she's about to share a recipe. "We're keeping Christmas modest this year. You won't be joining us. It will help keep things calm for Derek." The words struck me like a sudden blow, stealing the breath from my lungs. I sit upright, the futon groaning beneath me, and gaze at the chipped ceramic mug on my table, steam rising from the instant coffee I just poured. "What?" I manage, my voice rough, barely a whisper. "Oh, you know," she continues, as carefree as always. "Derek has been so stressed lately. He needs a quiet holiday, and well, it's simply better this way." Better? My chest tightened, a hot ember of fury igniting deep within. Derek, my older sibling, the favored child who could do no wrong in their eyes, the one they'd protected through every mistake, while I've been the stable one, the problem solver. I clench the mug, the warmth biting into my palm, and murmur, "You're serious? You're excluding me from Christmas?" She chuckles, a soft, dismissive sound that scrapes against my nerves. "Don't be so dramatic, Elliot. It's just one day. Derek's been through a lot, you know how he gets." The ember flares. I set the mug down forcefully, coffee splashing onto the scratched wood, and lean forward, elbows on my knees. "Through a lot?" I echo, my voice sharpening. "What about me?" She sighs, that familiar exasperated sound she uses to avoid anything genuine. "Let's not make this an issue, okay? We'll see later." The connection ends, leaving me staring at the phone, the wind howling outside, and that anger burning brighter than the faint bulb flickering overhead. The phone is still in my hand, its screen dark, but Mom's words replay in my mind like a broken recording. I toss it onto the futon and begin to walk the confined area between my small kitchen and the window. The wind is picking up outside, shaking the glass, but it's nothing compared to the tempest brewing inside me. I halt at the sink, grasping the edge, and stare at the chipped countertop. "Better this way," she had said. "For Derek. Always Derek." My knuckles whiten, and I mutter, "Unbelievable," to the empty room. The space heater hums in the corner, a faint warmth that does nothing for the chill in my gut. I retrieve my laptop from the cluttered shelf, almost knocking over a stack of unopened mail, and slump back onto the futon. The screen illuminates as I access the mortgage account, their mortgage account. My name is linked to it, my login, my payments. I scroll through the transaction history, $666 transferred every month, $8,000 this year alone, 2 years of it, ever since Derek's craft beer venture collapsed, taking their savings with it. $25,000 vanished in a haze of hops and poor choices, and I'd intervened because they couldn't lose the house. My call center job, endless hours of headset static and irate clients, covers this, while my own vehicle has a broken heater I can't afford to repair. I dial Mom back, my pulse throbbing in my ears. She answers on the third ring. "Elliot, I said we'd talk later," she begins, but I interrupt her. $8,000, Mom, this year. 2 years straight for your mortgage, and you're excluding me from Christmas for Derek? My voice trembles, raw and jagged. There's a pause, then that sigh again, long and practiced. "You wanted to help, Elliot. Don't make it an issue." I laugh, sharp and bitter, the sound echoing off the peeling walls. "Wanted to? I've been rescuing you since Derek ruined your lives. I skip oil changes so you have a roof." She doesn't flinch. "Derek's delicate right now. That bar failing affected him deeply. He needs us, your dad and me, to keep him stable. You're stronger, Elliot. You always have been." The words land like a brick, heavy and cold. Stronger? Is that what they call it when I work double shifts to clean up their mess while Derek sulks over his latest failure? Delicate? I snap, standing again, my boots thudding on the thin carpet. I'm working myself to the bone here. I've paid for your heat, your electricity, everything, while he just sits there complaining. Elliot, she says, firmer now. This isn't about money. It's about family. Derek's in a bad place. We need to focus on him. My jaw clenches so tightly I feel it in my temples. Focus on him? I repeat slowly, letting the words sink in. So I'm not family? 2 years, $16,000 total, and I'm not worth a seat at the table? She hesitates, then says, You're distorting this. It's one holiday. You'll be fine. The dismissal stings worse than the exclusion, as if I'm a utility bill they can skip when it's inconvenient. I pace again, the laptop screen glaring at me, the payment history a glaring sign of my foolishness. You know what, Mom? I've been fine. I've been fine working nights, eating ramen, driving a freezing car, all for you and Derek. What has he done lately except drain you dry? She huffs, irritation creeping in. He's trying, Elliot. He has plans you wouldn't understand. Like the bar? Like the DJ gig that lasted a week? Like every half-baked scheme he's promoted while I've kept them afloat? The line crackles with silence, and I stop by the window, watching the first snowflakes dust the streetlights. I've paid for your house, I say, my voice low, sharp as a blade. $8,000 this year, and you're telling me I'm out because Derek's stressed? She doesn't answer right away, then murmurs. Let's not do this now. We appreciate it, but Christmas is about him this time. I scoff, the sound harsh in my throat. Appreciate it? Right. I jab the end call button, the phone skidding across the cushion. The snow is falling faster now, blanketing the world outside, but inside, that ember is a full-blown fire. They've made their choice, Derek's comfort over my sacrifice. I glare at the laptop, the mortgage portal still open, and feel something shift. If I'm not family enough for Christmas, they can certainly figure out how to pay for their precious holiday glow without me. The snow is coming down heavily now, a white shroud over the street outside my window, but I barely notice. I'm hunched over my laptop, the mortgage portal glaring back at me like an accusation. My finger hovers over the mouse, the cursor blinking on. Pause automatic payments. Mom's voice echoes in my head. It's about family. Derek needs us. And my stomach churns. Family? I've been their lifeline, not their son, and they've discarded me like a burned-out light bulb. I click the button, a pop-up confirming the alteration, effective December 1st, 3 weeks before Christmas. The screen shifts to payment paused, and a cold, hard satisfaction settles over me, heavier than the blanket of flakes outside. I lean back, the futon groaning under my weight, and rub a hand over my face. The apartment is quiet, except for the space heater's hum and the faint whistle of wind sneaking through the window frame. My mind replays the past 2 years, Derek swaggering into Mom and Dad's kitchen, boasting about his bar opening, all sleek logos and overpriced IPAs. They clapped him on the back, Mom beaming as if he'd cured cancer, Dad nodding along, even as I sat there silently, transferring another payment from my phone under the table. Then the collapse, $25,000 of their retirement savings gone in 6 months. The bar shuttered, and Derek complaining about market trends. I'd stepped up, no questions, no complaints, because the house was all they had left. My overtime checks kept the lights on, the roof intact, while he nursed his ego with craft beer leftovers. I stand restless, and grab a can of soda from the fridge, the cold aluminum biting into my palm. Popping it open, I take a swig and pace to the window. The streetlights blur through the snowfall, and I picture their house, cozy, cluttered, the one I've paid to keep standing. Mom's probably knitting by the fireplace now, Dad flipping through the newspaper, Derek sprawled on the couch with his phone. They don't even know what's coming. I've been the invisible adhesive, and they've cut me out because Derek's stressed. Stressed from what? Failing again? I've been stressed, clocking out at midnight, avoiding repossession threats on my own car, but that doesn't count to them. The soda fizzes against my tongue, sharp and bitter, matching the taste in my mouth. I set it down and drop back onto the futon, pulling the laptop closer. I delve into the account details, every payment timestamped, my name next to each one. I've called the bank for them, negotiated late fees, set up the autopay because Dad couldn't figure out the app, and Mom just said, "You're so good with this, Elliot." Good with it? I've been good with draining my account dry while Derek's plans get the spotlight. The bar was just the latest. Before that, it was the DJ stint, the vape shop idea. All failures they excuse because he's their dreamer. I scroll back to last December, $666 sent the day after Christmas, my gift to them while they doted over Derek's hangover tales from his networking party. I'd smiled, said nothing, and worked New Year's Eve to cover it. Now they're planning a calm Christmas without me, as if I'm the chaos. My jaw tightens and I mutter, "Calm, huh?" The snow is piling up out there, a storm brewing that will bury the city soon. I imagine their house going dark, the heat fading, the bank notices accumulating. They've relied on me so long they forgot I could let go. I closed the laptop with a snap, the sound sharp in the stillness. My breath fogs in the dim light, not from cold, but from the intensity of this moment. I've poured everything into them, money, time, my own stability, and they've repaid me with a shrug and a closed door. Let's see how calm it is without my $8,000. I say aloud, my voice steady, cutting through the quiet. The confirmation email pings my phone. Payment paused, effective December 1st. 3 weeks to Christmas. 3 weeks until they feel the weight of their choice. I lean my head back, eyes on the ceiling's water stain, and let that satisfaction sink deep. They've chosen Derek's fragile ego over me one too many times. This time, I'm choosing myself. The storm outside growls louder, and I smirk, knowing theirs is just beginning. December arrives like a freight train, snow stacking high against my apartment building, the streets outside a mess of slush and ice. I'm at work, hunched over a headset in the call center, fielding complaints about delayed packages while the clock ticks past midnight. My phone vibrates in my pocket, Mom again. I ignore it, focusing on the irate voice in my ear, but when the call ends I check the message. "Elliot, the mortgage didn't go through. Bank says it's late. Fix it." My lips twitch into a faint but real smirk as I shove the phone back and grab the next call. Fix it? As if I'm their tech support, not the person they excluded from Christmas. The next day, I'm hauling boxes in the warehouse, working overtime to cover my own rent now that their house isn't draining me. My hands are numb, the cold seeping through my gloves, when my phone pings again. It's Dad this time, a voicemail. "Elliot, we've got late fees piling up. Pay it now! What's wrong with you?" His tone sharp, as if I've spilled coffee on his newspaper, not pulled the plug on their free ride. I delete it, stacking a crate of canned goods, the metal clinking like my resolve. The payment has been off for a week, and they're already panicking. Good. By midweek, I'm warming up in my apartment, sipping warm tea when I get a notification. Derek has posted on social media. "Some people are too selfish to care about family," he writes, tagging me in prominent letters. I click through, jaw tight, and see the comments roll in. His friends are calling me a deadbeat, a parasite. One even says, "Hope you're proud, ruining Christmas." My stomach twists, hot and sour, but I don't respond. He's made it public, portraying me as the villain while he plays the victim. I scroll his profile, pictures of him at a bar last night, grinning with a pint, not a worry in the world. Meanwhile, I'm here, my boots still damp from the loading dock. I toss the phone onto the futon and pace, the floor creaking beneath me, the space heater humming, but I feel the chill anyway, not from the air, but from Derek's cheap shot. He has no idea I've been their financial support. Or maybe he does and just doesn't care. Mom's text comes next. "Elliot, why has the payment stopped? Call the bank." I ignore it, grabbing a stale bagel from the counter and tearing into it. Let them figure it out. The snow is relentless outside, burying cars in drifts, and I picture their mailbox filling with bank notices, their cozy denial cracking. Friday night, I'm at the corner store picking up milk and bread when Dad calls again. I let it go to voicemail, paying the cashier as she chats about the storm back home. I play it. Elliot, this is serious. $200 in fees already. Turn it back on. His voice cracks, anger tinged with something else. Panic, maybe. I drop the groceries on the counter and lean against it, staring at the wall. $200. Pocket change compared to the $8,000 I've shelled out this year, but it's enough to rattle them. I mutter, "Feel it yet?" to the empty room, a grim edge to my voice. Saturday morning, I'm sweeping snow off my walkway, breath fogging in the frigid air, when my phone vibrates again. Mom texting, "Elliot, we're 15 days late." "What's happening?" 15 days. The bank has probably sent a warning letter by now, red ink and bold threats. I keep sweeping, the scrape of the shovel loud against the quiet. Derek's post has 50 likes, his chorus of sycophants piling on, but I don't care. Let him spin his narrative. They don't know I've been the one holding the house together while he's chased pipe dreams. By Sunday, the calls accumulate, 3 from Dad, 2 from Mom. I'm frying an egg, the sizzle drowning out the buzz when I check the latest. Dad's voice shrill, barking. "Pay it, Elliot! This isn't a game!" I flip the egg, the yolk breaking, and smirk. Not a game? They made it one when they chose Derek sulking over my effort. The storm is easing outside, but their trouble is just beginning. I sit with my plate, the warmth of the food a stark contrast to the ice I've unleashed miles away. They have no clue how deep this goes, how long I've supported them, but they're about to learn. $8,000 doesn't vanish without a price. I chew slowly, the phone silent for now, and wait for the next crack to appear. Christmas Eve descends upon the city with an ice storm, the kind that transforms power lines into glass and streets into skating rinks. I'm in my apartment, flipping a burger on the stovetop, the sizzle filling the quiet while sleet pelts the windows. My phone is a war zone, 15 missed calls, half from Mom, half from Dad, a barrage of texts illuminating the screen. I glance at the latest, Mom's voice cracking in a voicemail. "Elliot, the bank's threatening foreclosure. It's 30 days late. Please do something." 30 days. A month without my money, and their house is on the brink. I slide the burger onto a plate, ketchup pooling red, and feel a dark, steady calm. They're feeling it now. I'm mid-bite when another text lands, Mom again. "Derek took our savings. $2,000, all we had left. He said it's for rent at his girlfriend's. We're broke, Elliot." I freeze, burger halfway to my mouth, and let out a low, jagged laugh. $2,000? Money I'd helped scrape back after his bar fiasco, gone in an instant because Derek's playing house. He's not just a parasite, he's a thief. I set the plate down, wiping grease on my jeans, and picture him smirking, tossing cash as if it's his, while they beg me to fix his mess again. My calm sharpens into something colder, harder. The phone buzzes nonstop, Dad now. "Elliot, where are you? Bank's calling daily." I ignore it, grabbing a beer from the fridge, the cold glass slick against my palm. I crack it open, the hiss cutting through the storm's howl, and take a long pull. Foreclosure. It's not just late fees anymore, it's real. I've seen the notices accumulate in my mind's eye, stern letters, deadlines, and bold print. Their cozy little world unraveling. They thought I'd give in, that I'd keep rescuing them. Not this time. The beer is bitter, matching the taste of their betrayal. Around 8 p.m., the doorbell jolts me from my thoughts, a harsh buzz against the storm's roar. I peer through the peephole, Dad, hunched under his parka hood, crusted with ice, face flushed red. I crack the door, warm air spilling out, and lean against the frame, beer in hand. "Elliot!" he snaps, breath fogging, and bursts in. "The mortgage is a month late. Bank's ready to take the house. Turn it back on now." His eyes are wild, fury and fear tangled up, but I don't flinch. "You kicked me out of Christmas," I say, my voice flat, steady. "Said Derek needed calm. I figured you didn't need me for anything else." He blinks, snow shaking loose from his sleeves, and his mouth twists. "That was one day. Derek's struggling. Your mom's a wreck over this. I step forward, cutting him off, the cold biting my face but not my resolve. One day? I paid $8,000 this year, $16,000 over two, while Derek's struggling cost you everything. You picked him. Now you're broke. He flails, his voice rising over the wind. He took the savings, Elliot. We've got nothing. Foreclosure's next week if you don't fix this. I sip the beer, slow and deliberate, meeting his glare. Not my problem. You've got a phone. Call the bank. Sell something. Figure it out. His jaw drops, then clamps shut, teeth grinding. You're heartless. He spits, his fists clenching. We're losing it all. I shrug, the motion small but final. You lost me first. Happy Christmas, Dad. I shut the door, the lock clicking sharp, and his shouts fade into the storm as his truck rumbles to life, tires crunching ice. Back inside, I drop onto the futon, burger cold on the counter, and check my phone. Mom's latest. Elliot, it's unbearable. Help us. Then Derek, a text dripping venom. You're trash. Ruining us. I smirk, setting the beer down, and mute the notifications. The apartment is warm, the heaters hum a quiet victory, while outside, the ice coats everything in a glassy tomb. They're huddled in that house, probably under blankets, cursing me as the bank's axe looms. Derek's theft, their choice. It's all crashing down, and I'm here, eating alone, free of their burden. I finish the burger, the taste sharp with ketchup and defiance, and let the storm rage on. Tomorrow's Christmas, their calm holiday, and I've given them the gift they earned, a reckoning. The ice storm recedes by Christmas morning, leaving the city fragile and silent, but my phone remains a battleground, 20 missed calls by noon, texts accumulating like snowdrifts. I'm sipping coffee, black and strong, when my friend Sam calls from the diner. Elliot, your family's falling apart, he says, his voice thick with amusement. Heard from my sister. They're panicking. Foreclosure's imminent. Derek vanished with that money. I grin, the mug warm in my hands. Took $2,000 and ran, huh? Sounds about right. Sam laughs. Yeah, your mom's hitting up every cousin for loans. It's a spectacle. I lean against the counter, the apartment's warmth enveloping me like a shield. Outside, the streets glisten with melting ice, but their world is still frozen solid. Later, I scroll social media. Derek's post has backfired. A few relatives chime in. Wait, Elliot paid the mortgage? Where's Derek with the savings? His victim act crumbling, and I don't lift a finger to stop it. Mom's next voicemail comes soft, hesitant. Elliot, we miss you. The house, it's bad. Can we talk? I delete it, stirring sugar into a second cup, the spoon clinking against ceramic. Miss me now, do they? By New Year's, Sam stops by with burgers, plopping onto my futon with a grin. Update. Your dad's selling his old truck to avoid the bank. Cousin Lisa says it's 45 days late. Foreclosure set for January. I nod, biting into the burger, grease dripping onto the plate. And Derek? Sam snorts. Bolted to his girlfriends. Left them high and dry. I chew slowly, picturing Dad haggling in the cold, Mom wringing her hands. They're scrambling, and I'm here, steady, my rent paid, my heater humming. It's not joy I feel, just a quiet, solid relief. The calls diminish by mid-January, but a text from a cousin, Tara, lands one night. Elliot, they're ruined. 60 days late. Mom's crying to Aunt Jen. Dad's begging neighbors for cash. I'm at work, headset off, staring at the screen between calls. 60 days. The bank isn't bluffing now. Repossession is close. I lean back, the chair creaking, and mutter. They dug that hole. No one's bailing them out this time. Not me. Not anyone. Derek's theft and their blind loyalty dug it deeper, and I'm done shoveling. That night, I'm sprawled on the futon, TV droning some police procedural when Mom tries again. Voicemail. Elliot, please, we're desperate. Her voice trembles, but I hit delete, flipping channels. Desperate? That's what they chose when they locked me out for Derek's sake. The apartment is warm, my coffee is fresh, and their chaos feels miles away, a faint echo I don't need to hear. I've supported them long enough. 2 years, $16,000, my own life on hold. Now I'm living mine. The TV flickers, sirens wailing, and I sip my drink, letting their mess fade into static. They'll sink or swim, but I'm not the lifeguard anymore. March arrives, the snow melting into muddy puddles outside my window, but their predicament persists like damp rot. I'm splitting logs for my fire pit, the axe sinking into wood with a clean crack when my phone vibrates. Sam again. Elliot, they're finished, he says, chuckling. Banks foreclosing. 90 days late. Derek's couch surfing some dive. Mom's in a cheap motel. Dad selling junk at flea markets. I stack the split pieces, wiping sweat from my brow. Figures, I say, my voice even. They chose their path. The air is crisp, spring approaching, and I feel lighter than I have in years. Later, I'm sipping tea on the futon when the doorbell rings. I peek out, Mom, her coat threadbare, eyes hollow, snowmelt dripping from her boots. I crack the door, leaning against the frame, warmth spilling past me. Elliot, she says, her voice shaky. We're losing the house next week. Derek's gone, left after New Year's. We were wrong. I swirl the tea, steam curling up, and meet her gaze. Wrong? 2 years, $16,000, Mom. $8,000 this year alone. You didn't see me until I stopped paying. She steps closer, her hands twisting together. We didn't realize